said in a long time. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, and this is Flix Fix. Yes, I haven't done Flix Fix in a long time. I haven't done movie reviews. I haven't done movie trailer reactions. I haven't done like little mini shows. There's always been a show or two that I thought, oh, maybe I'll do that one. I thought I was going to do one for Alien Earth, which turned out to be really good, and I didn't get around to it because all the wrestling stuff was going on. But I haven't talked to you guys in this forum in a long time, and it's fucking Halloween. Or by the time you guys are listening to this tomorrow, it'll be Halloween. I could have done Nosferatu. I could have done The Wolf Man. I could have done Sinners, although getting into the Sinners discourse on X right now is both treacherous and tragic. I could have done Jurassic World Rebirth. I could have done Weapons, which is phenomenal. I would have done The Strangers Chapter 2 because they've got the new Strangers trilogy going on right now, because I've seen all these things and I have thoughts on all these things, and if you want me to go back and retread the movies that I've watched in 2025, or you want to ask me questions about what I think of those movies, etc., I would love you guys to throw it down in the comment section below. I haven't done, like I say, I haven't done Flix Fix in a long time, but it is Halloween. I gotta do something. There's gonna be something. I mean, Welcome to Derry has already started, so doing a trailer type of thing for that would be a little bit late to the party, so to speak. They've already dropped the first episode. I don't quite know what vibe they're going for with that just yet, but they're dropping the second episode early so that they can drop it on Halloween. So if you guys are listening to this tomorrow, Friday, episode 2 of Welcome to Derry is also a thing. They also dropped the trailer for the long awaited season 5 and final season of Stranger Things. Now, the discourse around that is people are all of a sudden pretending that they're not interested in it anymore because it took a long time to get there. Each episode is going to be like 2 hours long. You're getting a set of movies. It is what it is. The Black Phone 2 is in theaters right now. I have to see it. I want to backtrack. Really, if you haven't seen Weapons, go see the movie Weapons, or go grab it off your DVD, Blu-ray. Look at me sounding like an old guy. DVD shelf. Go get a Blu-ray of Weapons. It's really good. Sinners is also good, but the discourse around it is just really disappointing. But I would love to say that there's another Halloween coming out. There isn't. Halloween ended with Halloween Ends, and apparently somebody's trying to reboot it. I know along with Welcome to Derry, we're also getting a Welcome to Crystal Lake series as a precursor to Friday the 13th. May or may not come up and talk about that. You guys let me know down in the box below if you even want Flix Fix to even be a thing. I'm just rambling at this point, and I'm already 3 minutes in. What I'm here to talk to you guys about today, and I had to because I love this and Saw 11 next year is going to be ridiculous. I'll definitely review the trailer for that when we get it. But secondary to Saw, secondary to Halloween, which isn't a thing anymore, secondary to all those types of things, is the movie series that's always going to have a cool place in my heart, because a lot of horror movies are silly and scary. The one that really leans into you can be absolutely silly and absolutely deadly at the same time is the Scream series. And the trailer for Scream 7 dropped today as well. Watched it back to back with the trailer for the last season of Stranger Things, which looks really good, and apparently they're going to drop the last episode in theaters because it's going to be like 2.5 hours long or some ridiculous thing. We're going to get some big 11 versus Vecna super brawl. It's going to be awesome. Scream 7, they dropped the trailer, and I have to do it. I just have to do it. If there's anything that's going to bring me back to doing Flix Fix again, talking to you guys about trailers, talking to you guys about movies in general, talking to you guys about shows and stuff like that. Those of you that remember back in the day, back in the bad old times of COVID and whatnot, specifically, myself and Kristen, Black Cat Feline, did a lot of stuff. We did some old Batman movies. We did some old Alien movies. We did a lot of Marvel stuff. We did a 4-hour mega review of all the movies leading up to and including Infinity War and Endgame. But yeah, and then it sort of became this, hey, there's a trailer, let me talk about the trailer, which is what I'm doing now, and now I'm almost 5 minutes in with 5 minutes of ramble. Scream 7. Scream series. Scream as a series, sorry. People are giving it the accusation that everything else gets. The accusation that Saw got, the accusation that the Fast and the Furious movies gets, the accusation that Halloween got, even though if you look at the Halloween timeline, there's 3 different Halloween timelines of movies to watch, and that's interesting, but be that as it may. The reason I'll push back on this whole, oh my god, we've had too many Scream movies, is that the Scream series did what the Jurassic series did. They did Jurassic... Sorry, I can't speak, I swear. Jurassic Park and then Jurassic World. You had a threequel with the first set of characters, and then you had a threequel with the second set of characters that brought in the first characters at the end. Scream eventually introduced a brand new generation of talent. You got Jenna Ortega is the obvious one, but you got one that's in there, and she's the new movie expert because she's Randy Meeks' niece, daughter. I'd have to go back and look. But it's new enough, and it's different enough, and we touched on enough different things. I mean, they did commentary on horror movies, they did commentaries on sequels, they did commentaries on trilogies, they did commentaries on anthologies, and when they brought in these new characters as a requel, they did it as a parody of requels. I don't think it's as dead as people think it is, and that's the thing. The interesting thing about the Scream series as well is you can't list Ghostface in the pantheon of horror movie characters because Michael Myers is Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees is Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger is Freddy Krueger, John Kramer is Jigsaw, Leatherface is Leatherface, Charles Lee Ray is Chucky. Who is Ghostface? There are, I think, now 12 different answers to that question. Ghostface is an idea. Ghostface is an idea that is picked up and put down as somebody may need it for their own nefarious means. And by that nature, Ghostface isn't a character, therefore you can't rate it in the pantheon. But the Scream series absolutely can be thrown in there with the pantheon of not only great slashers, but great masked horror. Like I say, go back to your Jason Voorheeses and your not Michael, Michael Myers. You can't say Freddy Krueger because that's just a burnt face. In more recent times, I say I just saw Chapter 2 not that long ago. The Strangers, tapping into that. There is no reason for what we're doing. We're just killing you because you're here. Fantastic. Ghostface in that regard is absolutely up in the pantheon. But as a slasher killer, you can't put Ghostface in there because who's Ghostface? Which Ghostface are you talking about? Which reveal is your favorite? Etc., etc., etc. No reveal is ever going to be as good as the first one, but it is what it is. So let's break down. I'm going to give you sort of a recap of what happens in the trailer. I'm also going to throw the trailer down in the comment section below if you want to check it out for yourself. Opens up, as most Scream movies typically do, with brand new characters that aren't attached to the main story. You got a couple that's clearly flirty, clearly joking around with each other, and they're going to what they refer to as, I believe, the murder B&B. And what it ends up being is what I'm assuming is the Stu Macher house that's now been made into a horror tourist attraction. You walk in, there's tape on the floor, there's fake blood on the floor, and there's a jump scare of an animatronic ghost face by the front door when these guys first come in. Now, he waves his hand in front of it and it moves. I'm sure there'll be some sort of not at all subtle dig at AI or something like that, because that's what horror movies like to do. Not Jordan Peele. We know what Jordan Peele's trying to put in his movies. It's fine. The jump scare of the animatronic ghost face allows for, obviously, oh, we've been scared. It's nothing to worry about. It's just a toy, because the real killer is behind you. There's a chase. It's all very flashy because it's being fit into what is literally a 2-minute promo. They run up the stairs instead of running out the door, which is a horror cliche. But the kill, they didn't name any names, obviously, it's a trailer, but the blonde girlfriend, the blonde hot girlfriend, cliches and tropes out the yin-yang. The kill is great because they knock the killer over and he's lying down in the hallway, and when the girl falls from the banister onto him, he's just holding the knife in front of him. So she kind of stabs herself, let gravity do the work for you. And then you smash cut to what is more traditional of a Scream film, and it's, once again, we are reintroduced to Sidney Prescott coming home to see the carnage. It's all voiced over by the first call that she gets from Ghostface with the modulated voice, the whole, "Did you miss me? It looks like you've set up a great life with your family, with your daughter in a new neighborhood, in that new great house you've got." And right away, you get Sidney Prescott, who's fucking sick of all of it, saying, "Hey man, you look like, or you sound like you know a lot about me from for a guy that's just hiding behind another voice modulator." Then she comes in and she says, "Why are you hiding behind a voice modulator? Why are you hiding behind the phone like everybody else does?" He says, "Well, I'm not hiding this time." We move forward in the trailer a little bit, and you see how prepared Sidney is in what I'm assuming is going to be either her place or somewhere with other people that are as prepared as her, because Ghostface shows up, she goes behind this big room wall thing that looks like a safe door, and then you see that safe room actually leads to a crawl space, and you have this really cool, like, claustrophobic scene of her and her daughter trying to make their way through a crawl space, and a very typical, again, typical in a good way, because the Scream movies are made to poke fun at other horror movies, is the killer being just on the other side of the wall and tapping the wall and looking for where the empty space is and where the stud is, and you get that, what's it from? It's from The Shining, when he comes with an axe through the door, but he puts the knife through the wall, and you can see, and it's just missing Sidney's daughter and all that kind of thing, and the tap, 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 stab is a thing, but it sets up a perfect yin and yang, a perfect Spider-Man meme moment, a perfect "what's good for me is good for you," because later on in the trailer, you see the daughter, and the daughter's in the house, and Sidney's trying to get to her, and she's on the phone, but she can see what's going on in the house through the security on her cell phone, and she's talking to her daughter, and she's like, "I'm going to help you take this guy out," because he's on the outside, she's on the inside, but she can see inside the room where the daughter is and outside where Ghostface is, so she's remotely telling her daughter where to shoot, where Ghostface in the previous scene was just tapping his way along and making guesses with his stabs, because there's two of them, and the mother-daughter bond is so great, and Sidney's so, like I say, so sick of this shit. We're going to do this with precision. And then you get the whole, okay, you've got him. No, you need to fucking shoot him in the face. Double tap. This is where the main villain comes back for one last scare, in the immortal words of the now dead Randy Meeks. And she doesn't get a chance to shoot him in the face, because obviously there's another jump scare. The guy gets up. The chase keeps going. And it then goes scattershot to a bunch of action shots throughout the entire movie. And obviously Sidney in the middle of the street, screaming into her phone. The whole idea is claustrophobic, and it has been right from day one, right from the very first Scream movie. So much of the movie is just people talking, because it's so based on the phone. Who wants to play a game? That kind of thing. What's your favorite scary movie? It's a game until it's not a game anymore. So much of it happens on the phone, but you have Sidney standing in the middle of what seems to be an empty street, screaming, "Stay the fuck away from my daughter," whatever, and the voice on the other end saying what a villain would: "Oh, don't worry, I won't hurt her until you're here to see it." Smash cut to another voiceover saying, "Let's go unmask the fucker," and we've got Courtney Cox back as Gale Weathers. Fucking awesome. The OGs are back. They're gonna go kick some ass. The final girls of all final girls have reunited once again. Considering in the first movie, the first thing we see between the two of them is a punch in the face. It's all, what comes around is all around. A lot more scattershot of action. The younger generation of stars, the new core four, I think they called themselves in the other movies, are sort of in and around the shots, but they're not focused on. So I don't know how much they're... I know Melissa Barrera was in it and then not in it and then in it and then not in it for stupid political reasons. And I know Jenna Ortega, when Melissa Barrera was taken out of it or had to leave for whatever reason, she left in protest and then came back. I don't want to delve into the political thing. I hope they're both in it. They're both fucking fantastic. The other one that plays Randy Meeks's, descendant. This is a terrible word to use. She's also in Yellow Jackets, and she's also pretty crazy in that show as well. Check out Yellow Jackets if you haven't checked out Yellow Jackets. It's fucking mad. There's a voiceover, and I'm not even sure who's... It's somebody talking to Sydney. It's not the Ghostface Killer, but it's like, you know, why would anybody, you know, who would want to be friends with you? People die all around you just because they fucking know you. And then you get a real close-up of Ghostface lighting a match, saying, I'm gonna burn it all down, and then you just see him, basically, you know, cool guys don't look at explosions, walking away from the house on fire. Now, from the trailer, I couldn't tell whether this is the initial Stu Macher house, I couldn't tell whether this was the initial Prescott house, or whether this is just where the final big bang, the big battle happens. It's a really nice shot to end, though. It is very much like in the most recent Halloween trilogy, when Laurie Strode manages to trap Michael Myers in the basement, and she's made her whole house into a cage, and you see the fire come up all around him, and it's very, very, very cinematic. Very similar in the way that this they go close and pull out on this shot of this house burning. I am ridiculously excited for this, but it's me. Of course I am. It's Halloween stuff, it's spooky stuff, it's spooky season for the wrestling fans out there. I know we did a lot of Halloween stuff last weekend, but that doesn't mean that tomorrow isn't tomorrow and tomorrow isn't Halloween. If there was ever a reason for me to come back and talk to you guys and get back into the groove of doing Flix Fix, it was going to be something like Scream 7, or it might have been next year when we get more information on Saw 11, which is fucking ridiculous as well. Let's go. Might come back and talk to you guys when we get more news on The Strangers Chapter 3. Don't know when that's coming out just yet. I'm putting it out to you guys right now because I haven't done this in a while. If you want to see me do more Flix Fix stuff like this, it's not all going to be horror stuff, but it's going to be stuff that catches my attention, which means it's going to be a lot of horror stuff. I could come back and talk about when Predator Badlands comes out, because Predator Killer of Killers was pretty cool. They're slowly linking back up the Alien and Predator franchises. The Alien Earth series was fantastic. I just didn't get around to doing something like this about it. So, putting the question out there to you guys, if you want to see me do more stuff like this, maybe stepping away from a bit of the wrestling and doing some other entertainment stuff. The only other thing I could do is step away from wrestling and talk about what's going on in the real world, and there's nothing scarier than that. That's all I got to say. Just took a couple quick notes after watching the trailer. Wanted to talk to you guys. Wanted to bring this back for at least one night, and that's it. Let me know. Are you excited about Scream 7? Are you going to go check out Scream 7? Have you seen the trailer? If you haven't seen the trailer, I'm going to put it down in the box below, but I've basically told you everything that happens. But anyways, I've been Spaz. This has been Flix Fix. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I am tagging out. Bye, guys.